everyone, welcome to our channel Knowledge Hub. Friends, subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon for the latest update. आज हम आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस की क्लास करने वाले हैं, जो कि आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस का क्लास 12 है। ऑलरेडी अगर हम इस क्लासेस की बात करते हैं तो हम यूनिट 1 कंप्लीट कर चुके हैं, यूनिट 2 कंप्लीट कर चुके हैं, यूनिट 3 जो है वो भी हम कंप्लीट कर चुके हैं एंड उसके साथ साथ हमने यूनिट 4 भी कंप्लीट कर लिया है। एंड आज जो हम स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं वो हम ऑलरेडी यूनिट 5 कर रहे हैं एंड होपफुली अगर ये क्लास ज़्यादा लंबा नहीं जाता है, वी विल बी एंडिंग अप विद दैट इज़ योर यूनिट 5 एंड दैट इज़ फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल it's a huge request from my side to all the viewers. Please go through with the subscribe button and please like, share and subscribe our channel so that many maximum people can get the information at once, and even though you can also enjoy the video as well. I'm talking about unit 5, that is your pattern recognition. Here we had discussed many of the topics in the last class, in the class 11. You can go through with that if you had not visited that video and that the lecture that we had taught here. And now we'll go ahead further in the pattern recognition only, and that is in the terms of, we'll discuss about the steps in designing pattern recognition. Steps in designing pattern recognition. In the steps in designing pattern recognition, if I'm talking about here, where we have discussed many more things in this, and in the terms of it, if I'm gone through with the further one, and that in the steps in terms of step designing in a pattern recognition. In the steps in designing pattern recognition, where that the components which are used in the design of pattern recognition system, this description stresses a one-way or a bottom-up flow of data. Some systems employ feedback from the higher level, that is your back down to the lower levels, that is your dotted area as well. In the same case, if I'm going to ours, that we had done the architecture of pattern design, that the components used to design a pattern recognition system, that we had discussed in the last class, where we have discussed about the first is input, then sensing, then segmentation, feature extraction, classification, post-processing and decision, which I had told you about that even though we had drawn up, so you can go through with that. And the first we have pattern designing, and the first we have is your sensing. In sensing, here I'm talking about a sensing. A sensor converts image or sound or other physical inputs into the signal data, and the input to the pattern recognition system is often some kind of a transducer, such as a camera or a microphone array. The difficulty of the problem depends on the characteristics and the limitation of the transducer, its bandwidth, resolution and sensitivity, distortion, signal to noise ratio, latency, etc. comes under the sensing here. The second we have is that is segmentation and grouping. In segmentation and grouping, the segmentation refers to the process of partitioning a digital image or a speech into multiple segments, where the segmentators isolate the sensed object from the background or from other object as well. If we have already recognized the object, then it would be easier to segment their images. For example, the face detection that can be viewed as image segmentation. In speech recognition, the segmentation problem is called the source separation. The third we have your feature extraction. In feature extraction, here a feature extraction measures the object properties that are useful for classification, where the traditional goal of the feature extraction, that is the extractor, is to characterize an object to be recognized by measurement whose values are very similar for objects in some category and very different for the object in a different category as well. This leads to the idea of seeking distinguishing features that are invariant to irrelevant transformation of the input as well. We'll go ahead with the further one, and that is your fourth one, and that we have here is your classification. In the terms of classification, the task of the classifier components of full system is to use the feature vector provided by a feature extractor to design the object to a category. The abstraction provided by a feature vector representations of the input data enables the development of largely domain-independent theory of classification. The degree of difficulty of the classification problem that depends on the variability in the feature value for objects in same category relative to the differences between feature value for object in a different category. The variability of the feature value for object in the same category may be due to the complexity and may be due to the noise as well. The fifth we have is your post processor. In post processor, the post processor uses the output of the classifier to decide on the recommended action. Conceptually, the simplest measure to classify the classifier performances is the classification error rate, the percentage of the new patterns that are assigned to the wrong category, and thus it is the common to seek the minimum error rate classification. However, it may be much better to recommend the action that will minimize the total expected cost, which is called the risk as well. And the post processor might also be able to exploit the context input independent, that is information other than from the target itself, to improve system performances as well. Now we'll go ahead to discuss about right on the activities that is used to design a pattern recognition. So here we'll go ahead. Activities that is used to design a pattern recognition system. In the same case, the design of the pattern recognition system usually entails the repetitions of the number of different activities like data collections, the feature choice, model choice, and training and evaluation as well. So we'll go ahead to the detail in that I had told you about the architecture as well. So first we'll discuss about the data collection. In the data collection, that the data must be collected both to train and to test the system. Data collection can account the surprisingly large part of the cost for developing a pattern recognition system as well. The second we have feature choice. In a feature choice here, that the choice of if I'm talking about here, that the choice of that distinguishing the features is a critical design sign, that is the step, and that is depend on the characteristics of the problem domain as well. In that same case, in selecting the or designing a feature, we would like to find the feature that are simple to extract, invariant and irrelevant transformation, insensitive to noise, and useful for the discriminating the patterns of the different category as well with the design cycle. The third we have is a model choice. In the model choice here, the characteristics of the data that affects the choice of models for the different category that comes under in it. And for the training, that the another we have of training. In training here, that the process of using the data to determine the classifier are referred to a training the classifier here. The fifth we have is your evaluation. In evaluation, if I'm talking about here, that the evaluation is important for both to measure the performances of the system and to identify the need of the improvement in its component as well. Now we'll go ahead to discuss about 5 marks that has been asked many time examination paper, that is just statistical pattern recognition. Statistical pattern recognition here In the same case, if I'm talking about the statistical pattern recognition is a problem used to cover all the stages from the problem formulations and the data collection through discrimination and the classification, assessments of results and interpretation as well. In a statistical pattern recognition, that recognition is done by the classifying the input into the predefined category, and in this approach each pattern is represented here, and that is represented in the D featured here, and that is viewed as a point of D-dimensional space. The goal is to choose those feature that allow the pattern vector that is belonging to a different category and a disjoint region in a D-dimensional feature space. The effectiveness of the feature space is determined by how well pattern from the different classes that can be separated, and given a set of training pattern from each classes, the objective is to establish the decision boundaries in the feature space and which separate the pattern belonging to a different classes as well. In the statistical decision theoretic approach, the decision boundaries are determined by the probability distribution of the pattern that is belonging to each class as well. The basic model for the statistical pattern, talk about models. In the models here, that is we talk about, and that is your the basic model of statistical pattern recognitions here. The that in that same case, the pattern recognition here, the pattern recognition system is divided into the two major modes of operation, that training and classification. The role of pre-processing module is to segment the required pattern from the given background, remove noise and normalize it, and after other operation that represent the pattern for the further processing as well. In the training mode, the feature extraction module finds the appropriate feature for representing the input patterns, and the classifier is trained to partition the feature space as well. It is necessary to optimize the processing and a feature extraction strategies as well. In the classification or the operational mode, the trained classifier assigns the input pattern to one of the pattern classes that is based on the measured feature as well. We are following other steps that has been involved in the decision making process for the statistical pattern recognition, but before that we have to know about when the test pattern has been introduced, the processing takes place, it will go to the feature measurement and the classification as well. In the training pattern, that is the pre-processing, then feature extraction, selection, learning, and then of course it will goes to the processing, feature measurement, classification, and then it will give the result as well. Let's go ahead with the process, and that in the same case with the given pattern in the classifier is to one of the category, like w1, w2, then w till wnth, and that is based on a feature valued variable which is x equals to x1, x2, x3 till xn, and where it is assumed that the feature have a probability density function conditional on the pattern class, that the pattern x belongs to a class wi that can consider as an observation drawn randomly class conditional probability function as well. Decision rules are used to define the decision boundaries of the classes. Now, based on the decision boundaries, the classifiers are designed. The pattern is classified from the available information about the class condition densities. If all the class condition densities are completely specified, then the optional bias decision rule can be used as well. Let's go ahead with another one, that is define the term pattern matching. In the pattern matching here, where pattern matching is a technique of searching a string containing the term or a binary data for the some set of the character that is based on a specific search pattern, and when we search for a string of characters in a file using a find command in our word processor, or when we use a search engine to look for something on the web, we are using a simple version of the pattern matching. Our criteria is find these characters as well. Now, we are given a pattern and an input matching must be that test whether the input matches the pattern, and a common conventions is to let a pattern's variable begin with question mark and keep the variable binding, like for each pattern variable the corresponding input is present. And consider the example, let will go ahead. This format is called an associations list on or the list, and this forms called with the dotted pair that is produced by the cross, that is your x and comma y as well. In the same case, the pattern matching processes, if I'm talking about, in pattern matching processes, the pattern matching that can be done in several steps, like test whether the input matches a pattern. If so, keep binding between the pattern variable and the parts of the input, and then we have to construct the output. We have to create the version of the output pattern with substitution from the binding. When keep trying, that is the one optimization may enable another, so continue until the result does not change and reaches to a fixed point as well. Now talking about rules for pattern matching here. Rules for rules for pattern matching here, the preceding examples illustrate some rules for the pattern matching, where the function's name and the structures in the pattern must be matching exactly by the input as well, and a variable in the pattern will match anything in the input, but it must do considerably, and we implement this by letting a variable match anything at first time, and but it can only match the same things thereafter. Let's go ahead to discuss, write a short note on a principal component analysis. Principal component analysis. Principal component analysis, which stands for PCA as well. In the principal component analysis, that is technique adopted for a dimensionality reduction. Using the PCA technique, basically a higher dimensional data space on that can be transformed onto a lower dimensional space. This transformation is also called the Hotelling transform, and a linearly transform a high dimensional input vector into a low dimensional one whose components are uncorrected through the calculation of eigenvectors of the covariance matrix of the original input. The primary advantages of the PCA are the reductions of dimensionality of the data set and the identification of a new meaning of full underlying variable. The main issue of the principal component analysis is to reveal the true dimensionality of the space in which the data lie here. In the same case, we'll go ahead with the goal of the principal component analysis is to identify the most meaningful basis to re-express a data set here, where the very first step of the PCA algorithm will be normalize the components so that they have a zero mean and unity variance as well, and then the orthogonalization method that can use to compute the principal components of the normalized component as well. With the same regard of it, if I'm going ahead here, that is that the PCA that can be defined the orthogonal projections of the data onto a lower dimensional linear space, and when the principal where we'll get the data, we subtract the mean and calculate the covariance matrix, and then calculate the eigenvectors and the eigenvalues of the covariances matrix, then choosing the compound and forming a feature a vector as well, and deriving the new data set. This is the final step in the PCA, and that is called the the easiest as well, and that is the principal space such as the variance of the projected data is maximized, where equivalently it can be defined that the mean squared distance that is between the data points and their projection, the process of orthogonal projects that has been represented. Let's go ahead with the detail, that write a short note on a linear discriminant analysis. Linear discriminant analysis, which is LDA. In the linear discriminant analysis, the commonly used technique for the data classification and the dimensionality reduction. Linear discriminant analysis easily handle the case where the values within the class frequencies are unequal and their performances have been examined on randomly generated test data as well. This method maximizes the ratio of the between class variances and within the class variances in any particular data set, thereby guaranteeing the maximal maximal separability. The use of the linear discriminant analysis for the data classification is applied to a classification problem in speech recognition, where the LDA works when the measurement made on independent variable for each observation that are continuous quantities. When dealing with the categorical independent variable, the equivalent technique is discriminated correspondence analysis as well, where LDA is closely related to the ANOVA, that is analysis of variance, and regression analysis, which also attempts to express the dependent variable as a linear combination of the other features or the measurement as well. In the same case, the LDA is also closely related to the principal component analysis and a factor analysis, in that both look for the linear combination of the variable, which best explains the data as well. Now we'll go ahead with the differences between PCA and LDA. Difference between PCA and LDA. The prime differences between PCA and LDA is that PCA does more of feature classification and LDA does data classification. In PCA, the shape and the location of the original data sets changes when transformed to a different space, whereas the LDA does not change the location but only tries to provide more class separability and draw a decision region between the given class, and this method also helps to the better understand the distribution of the feature data as well. Now we'll go ahead to discuss about LDA for the two classes. LDA for the two classes here, where we'll consider a set of observation like X, also called that is a feature, attribute, variable, or the measurement. For each sample of that object or event will be known as class Y, and this set of samples is called a training set as well. In the same case, where that the classification problem is then find a good predator on the class Y, and that has been used here, and we find it out X and Y as well with the following formulas as well. So the another question what they can ask you is, you explain how PCA is used in pattern recognition, describe the parameter estimation method in a pattern recognition, that is of 10 marks. And the another question, write a short note on a parametric estimation, that is 5 marks here in the 2 examination paper. Then will parameter estimation method, that is in pattern recognition, we have is your LD and PCA, and LD and PCA that we had even though discussed about it. Let's go ahead with the another one, that is you describe the brief various features, extractions, and selection method in a pattern recognition, which has been asked of 10 marks, and that various that feature extraction by the selection method in a pattern recognition, that is your PCA and LDA as well. Let's go ahead with the further one, and that what we have to discuss here. While we go ahead with the further, and then we will discuss the in pattern recognition that the k-nearest neighbors algorithm, which is KNN, is a method for classifying the object that is based on the closest training example in a feature space as well, and we are Bayes that classifier as a simple probabilistic classifier that is based on applying the Bayes theorem with a strong independence assumption as well, and it assumes that the presence of a particular feature for a class is unrelated to the presence of any other feature, where SVM is a set of related supervised learning method that analyzes the data and recognize the pattern used for the classification and recognition analysis as well. In the same case, we'll go ahead with the discussion, that is the basic idea of the k-means clustering is that the clusters of the item with the same target and that category that are identified and predictionary new data items that are made by assuming they are of the same types as nearest cluster centers as well. So here we'll go ahead with this, and that is and the related to that nearest write a short note on the nearest neighbor rule that has been asked for 5 marks. In the nearest neighbor rule here, that is in the pattern recognition, the k nearest if I'm talking about, so here that is comes under it, that in a pattern recognition the k nearest neighbor algorithm, that is KNN, is a method of classifying objects that is based on the closest training examples like in the feature space, where KNN is a type of instance-based learning or a lazy learning where the function is only approximated locally and all computation is deferred until classification, where the k nearest neighbor algorithm is among the simple of all machine learning algorithm, and in which an object classifier that is the simple of all the machines learning algorithm in which the object is classified by a majority of its neighbor, and with the object that being assigned in the class most common amongst the k nearest neighbor, and that k is a positive integer with typically the small. If k equals to 1, then the object is simply assigned to the class of the nearest neighbor as well. The nearest neighbor that rules in efforts that compute the decision boundary is an implicit manner as well. In the same case, and a sample of observation in the form x comma y is collected to form a training data set. For this training data, a distance function is introduced between the x values of the observation, and this can be used to define for each observation a neighboring formed by the observation that are close to it and in the terms of the distance between the x values. For a continuous response variable, the nearest neighbor fitted value for each observation response is the value of y that is dependent on, and that is the nearest neighbor method that can also be used for the predictive classification as well. And now we'll go ahead with the write a short note on a Bayes classifier. In the term of Bayes classifier, a Bayes classifier is a simple probabilistic classifier based on applying the Bayes theorem from Bayesian statistics with a strong naive independence assumption. In a simple terms, a naive Bayes classifier assumes that the presence or absence of a particular feature of a class that is unrelated in the presence or an absence of any other feature, depending on the precise nature of the probability model, and the naive Bayes classifier that can be trained very efficiently in a supervised learning setting as well. In many practical application parameters, estimation for the naive Bayes model uses the method of maximum likelihood. In other words, one can work with a naive Bayes model without believing in Bayesian probabilistic probability or using any Bayesian method as well. An advantages of the naive Bayes classifier is that it required a small amount of training data to estimate the parameter, that is means and variance of the variable necessary for classification. The perceptron bears a certain relationship to a classical pattern classifier known as a Bayes classifier. When the environment is Gaussian, the Bayes classifier reduces to a linear classifier. In the Bayes classifier or the Bayes hypothesis testing procedure, we minimize the average risk denoted by R, and for the two that class problem as well. And that in the terms we had denoted that the important points to in the block diagram that have twofold. That first we have the data processing and designing. The Bayes classifier is confined entirely in the computation of the likelihood ratio as well. We are in the same case the second, that the computation is completely invariant of the variables that is assigned to the prior probabilities and involved in the decision making process, and these quantities merely affect the values of the threshold x. From the computational point of view, we find it more convenient to work with logarithm of the likelihood ratio rather than the likelihood ratio itself. Let's go ahead with another one, that write a short note on a support vector machine, that is SVM. Support vector machine, that is SVM. That has been asked many times in the examination paper of 5 marks. We are a promising approach which brings together the advantages of linear and nonlinear models, follows the theory of the support vector machine, that is SVM. In the case of two linearly separable classes, it is easy to find a dividing hyperplane, for example with the perception learning rule. However, there are usually infinitely many such planes. We are looking for a plane which has the largest minimum distances to both classes. This plane is usually uniquely defined by a few points in the border area. These points are called a support vector, all having the same distance to the dividing line as well. Where to find the support vector, there is an efficient optimizing algorithm, and it is interesting that the optimal dividing hyperplane is determined by the few parameters, namely by the support vector as well. Support vector machines that apply this algorithm to the non-linearly separable problems in the two steps process. In the first step, a non-linear transformation is applied to the data with the property that the transformed data is linearly separable. In the second step, that the support vectors are then determined in the transformed space as well. It is also possible to make the classes linearly separable by the transforming the vector space as long as the data contains no contradiction. Such a separation that can reach, for example, by introducing a new n plus 1th dimensions and the dimensions definitions here. Has been shown that there are such generic transformation even for the arbitrary shaped class division boundaries in the original vector space. In the transformed space, the data are then linearly separable, and however, the number of the dimensions of the new vectors that space grows exponentially with the number of dimensions of the original vector space as well. However, the large number of the new dimensionals is not a problematic because when using a support vector, the dividing plane as mentioned above is determined by only a few parameters as well. In the same case, if I am going ahead with the detail, and that what we have here is that is the center's nonlinear transformation of the vector space is called the kernel, and because of which support the vector machines and are as to be known as the kernel methods as well. The original SVM theory that developed for the classification has been extended and can now be used to regression problem also. Now we'll talk about what is clustering. Describe K-means clustering technique. Let's go ahead. Clustering and K-means clustering. In a clustering here, clustering is the process of grouping or classifying the objects on the basis of the close associations or the shared characteristic, and the objects that can be physically or abstract entities, and the characteristics that can be attribute value relations among the objects, and the combination of the both as well. And at the most abstract level, the objects might be some concepts such as a quality of its item purchase, and the classification in the same case that might have made on the basis of the some subjective criteria such as your poor and average or a good. And that clustering is an essential discovery learning process in which the similarity patterns are found among a group of objects as well. In K-means clustering, that the basic idea of the K-means clustering is that the cluster of the item with the same target category that are identified and predictions of the new items that are made by assuming that they are the same type of the nearest cluster centers as well. And we know that suppose we have an n feature that is vector that is x1 till the xn here, that all belongings to the same class C, and we know that they belongs to K cluster such that K is less than n, and that is if the clusters are well separated, that we can use the minimum distance classifier to separate them. We first initialize the means u1 to u2 till uk, and that of K clusters. One of the way to do this is just to assign random numbers to them, and we then determine the membership of each x by taking the mod of x minus mu as well. The minimum distance determines the x memberships in a respective cluster, and this is done for all n features vector as well. In the terms of it, if I'm talking about the algorithm, and in algorithm, the algorithm is composed of the following steps, where place k points into the space represented by the objects that are being clustered, and these points represent the initial group controls centroids as well, and assign each object to the group that has the closest centroid. And when all the objects have been assigned, recalculate the position of the k centroids as well, where we'll have to repeat the second and the third step until the centroids no longer move here. In the same case, now we'll go ahead to discuss about the classification technique. In the classification technique here, that we had discussed about it, and that has been asked many times in the examination paper of 5 marks. I will explain speech recognition in detail and application. speech recognition and application. In this speech recognition here, that we have to know about it, and that is well trained about it. That is, speech recognition is the process of converting an acoustic signal that is captured by the microphones or a telephone to a set of words as well, and that the recognized word that can be final results as an application, such as the command and control, data entry, and a document preparation. Speech recognition system that can be characterized by many parameters, some of the more claim of which that has been that is having trashing data. We'll go ahead here. This is trashing data, training data, and we have acoustic words, local lexicals, and the language model. Here, and this is come under as representation, modeling, and such. This acoustics, lexicals, and language, these were all connected to the search. So let's go ahead here with the detail of this, and that what we have. This is your training data. This is your acoustic model, lexical model, language model. This is speech signal, representation, modeling 1 classification, search, and recognize world. Here, so in the same case, if I'm talking about that as an isolated word, that speech recognition system requires that the speaker pause briefly between the words one, whereas a continuous speech recognition system does not. Speech recognition is difficult problem largely because of many sources of variabilities associated with the signals, and the major components of the typical speech recognition system, the digital signal is first transformed into a set of useful measurements or the features of fixed rate, typically once every 10 to 20 milliseconds here, and these measurements are then used to search for the most likely words candidate that make use of the constraints imposed by the acoustic, lexical, and language model as well. Talking about the applications here, so in the applications there are the voice dialing, call routing, domestic appliance control, content-based spoken audio search, data entry, preparations of structured documents, aircraft cockpits, and speech-to-text processing here. Now talking about the speech processing here, that speech processing is the process by which the speech signals are interpreted, understood, and acted upon, and it specifically refers to the processing of a human speech by the computerized system, as in voice recognition software or a voice-to-text program. Speech processing is important to many fields for both theoretical and a practical user, ranging from voice activation and control in the phone led to development of functional artificial intelligence in a computer science, where the interpretation and productions of coherent speech that are both important in the processing of speech, where some concerns do favor one over the other, and however the application needs of speech processing are very diverse. Speech recognition is one of the most important aspects of speech processing, because the overall aim of processing the speech is to comprehend and to act on spoken languages. One commonly used application of speech recognition is simple speech to text conversion, and which is used in many words processing program. Another component of speech processing is is a voice recognition, which is essential combinations of speech and a speaker recognition as well, where voice recognition occurs when a speech recognition program processes the speech of known speaker. Such program that can generally interpret the speech of known speaker with much greater accuracy than that of the random speaker as well. The another topic of the study in the area of speech processing is voice analysis, and voice analysis differs from other topics in speech processing because it is not really concerned with the linguistic contents of the speech as well. It is primarily concerned with the speech patterns and sound voice analysis that could be used to diagnose problem with the vocal cords or the other organ related to the speech by noting sound that are indicative of diseases or the damage. The sound and the stress pattern that could also be used to determine if an individual is telling the truth, though this use of voice analysis is highly controversial as well. In the same case, if I'm talking about here, and that is in the terms of it, there are the few questions that has been asked in the university examination paper, which are important as well. That is define pattern recognition and also explain the approaches to the that is the pattern recognition, and discuss the parameter estimation technique PCA and LDA in brief. And what do you mean by the speech recognition? Gives its application, and define the following: statistical pattern recognition, pattern matching, and what is clustering, explain K-means clustering approach, and write a short note on SVM, nearest neighbor rule, and bias classifier, that what we had talked about it. So first of all, it's a huge request from my side to all the viewers, please go through with the subscribe button and please like, share and subscribe our channel so that many and maximum people can get the information at once, and even though you can also enjoy the video as well. In the terms of it, in the artificial intelligence, we had completed unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, unit 4, unit 5 and unit 6. So unit 5 we had completed here, and this is the end of artificial intelligence. इसके बाद मैं एक और क्लास लेके आऊँगी जो कि क्लास 13 होगी, जिसमें मैं जितने भी पॉसिबल शॉर्ट आंसर्स पॉसिबल है यूनिट 1, यूनिट 2, यूनिट 3, यूनिट 4, यूनिट 5 के, वो सारे के सारे मैं एक साथ करने वाली हूँ, जिसमें आपको सारे शॉर्ट आंसर एक ही जगह पे एक ही क्लास में मिल जाएंगे. सो व्हाट we had covered up, that is the unit 1 introduction to artificial intelligence, foundation and history of artificial intelligence, application of artificial intelligence, intelligent agents, structures of intelligent agents, computer vision, natural language processing. In unit 2 we had covered up introduction to search, that is introduction to search, searching for solution, uniformed, that is uninformed search strategies, informed search strategies, local search algorithm and optimistic problem, adversarial search for the games, alpha beta pruning. Unit 3, knowledge representation and reasoning, that is knowledge representation and reasoning, propositional logic, theory of the first order logic, inferences in the first order logic, forward and a backward chaining, resolution, probabilistic reasoning, utility theory, hidden Markov model and Bayesian network. In unit 4, machine learning, that is machine learning, supervised and unsupervised learning, decision trees, statistical learning models, learning with a complete data, naive-bayes model, learning with a hidden data, EM algorithm, reinforcement learning. Then unit 5, that is your pattern recognition, where we have discussed about the pattern recognition, introduction, design principles of pattern recognition system, statistical pattern recognition, parameter estimation method, principal components analysis and linear discrimination analysis, classification technique, nearest neighbor rule, that is NN rule, Bayesian classifier, support vector machine, that is K-means clustering as well, and very short answers type question and previous year university solved paper, that what we have to discuss about it. So first of all, it's a huge request from my side to all the viewers, please go through with the subscribe button and please like, share and subscribe our channel so that many and maximum people can get the information at once, and even though you can also enjoy the video as well. Other than the artificial intelligence, we are completing your computer graphic. We had started with that, and that artificial intelligence we are going to be end up, and data warehousing, data mining, and we had started with the that is the another subject, and that we states for the principle of the programming languages as well. So you can go through with the playlist and you will find out each and every lectures from the playlist here. So thank you, hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up and give a suggestion in the comment box. Thank you.